So in this video, I'm going to take you through my KDP income report for October. We're going to look through things like royalties, ad spend, ACOS, as we usually do, and update it in this spreadsheet here, which, as I said in the last income report, I'm going to update every single month, and this time it is the turn of October. So I'm going to jump straight into it now. In terms of royalties for November, I made £5,892.27 worth of royalties from 2,082 books, which is a good month, but for me it was a little bit lower than I was expecting. Typically, the Q4 spike is starting to see at the kind of mid to late October. However, we didn't really see that this year. It seems to have come a little bit later. At the time of recording it, it's very early November, and we are just starting to see the spike. So it has come a little bit later, which means the income I was expecting for October hasn't quite been as high, but still a good month and one that I'm very, very happy with. So let's go and update the spreadsheet. So 5,892 from 2,082 units. So we averaged a royalty per unit of £2.83, which is quite good and a little bit higher than it was last month, but that's kind of to be expected. This is generally going to stay pretty flat throughout the months. So in terms of ad spend, again, it was an interesting month for ads. I actually ended up spending more money on ads than I would hope to. I actually had a US ad that I forgot to turn off. I was just testing some really aggressive bids and ended up having 1,000% ACOS, which is pretty ridiculous. It's definitely a mistake I won't be making again. But my ACOS has taken a bit of a hit from there in the US especially. But my UK ACOS also wasn't where it was where I wanted it to be. There were some keywords that usually do really well with exactly the same bids, but just for some reason in October were really expensive and being quite costly for me. So it wasn't a great month in terms of ads, but you're never going to have plain sailing with ads. There are going to be some months and some periods that are a little bit more difficult, but hoping for a much better month in terms of my ads in November. But in terms of actual spend we had on ads, we had £1,417 spent in the UK ads. So 1,417. And in the US, we spent $848, which actually is £753. So £753. So once you take ad spend into account from the royalties, we made a profit of £3,722 from my KDP this month, which is really good. Again, it's not quite as high as I would have hoped for November, but I'm definitely not one to complain with those sorts of numbers. Hopefully in November and December now, we're going to really start seeing that Q4 spike. So in terms of the ACOS, again, as I mentioned, it wasn't brilliant this month, so I'm going to find out exactly what it is now. So my UK sales from ads was 4667, so if I go 4667, and then for my US, it was 1868, so we'll just work out what that was in pounds. It's 1658 British pounds, 1658. So an overall ACOS for the month of 34.31, and for those of you that are following me on Twitter, if you haven't already, I'll leave a link to my Twitter down in the description. I do kind of a very brief summary of these every single month, and 34% ACOS is definitely one of the higher ACOS months I've had. So again, just kind of highlighting how difficult it was last month to get a good ACOS. I struggled. I know a few people I spoke to on KDP also saw quite poor ad performance, so I'm not too sure what was going on with October. But that essentially is my summary of my KDP income report for October. I'm not going to hang around for too long and make this long-winded and longer than it needs to be. So £3,722 profit made for the month, broken down from £5,892 worth of royalties. So that is my KDP summary for October. If you are new here, then do please subscribe to keep seeing KDP videos and KDP tips on this channel, and I will see you all in the next video.